I'm making this video because I just want to talk about something that came to my mind recently, which was just, the overall 2020 and all the craziness. I don't want to be talking about, what, but I just want to talk about the most important thing that I learned in 2020. So when it comes to 2020, shit happened. A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of businesses shut down, people went crazy, and depression and all that kind of stuff, people staying at home, stuck at home, not really much to do. So I wanted to talk about something that was really important that I learned. But the thing is, when it comes to the most important thing, it's not really like you can just like pinpoint one thing because there's so many aspects of life. So I actually broke it down to three different things. So the first part would be the most important thing I learned about business, or just, I guess, entrepreneurship in general. And the second thing would be just like friends and your social circle. And the third thing would just be life in general, just like general, something that I learned about life, or something that I wouldn't say I learned, but something that was just reestablished as something that I guess believe or whatever. So let's go ahead and jump into the first thing. The first thing that I learned in 2020 was, in business, the most important thing is to, if you're an entrepreneur, if you do business, if you run a business, or you're a freelancer or whatever, the first thing you want to do, the most important thing rather, that you want to focus on is looking at your data. Um, so the reason why I say that is because you could have the most amazing, product or service, and you could be the most extroverted person out there, and you can love working with your clients. But when it comes to actually systems and actually running an actual business, and not just being like what is the word, a glorified employee, you have to actually look at the data and what it tells you. Because if you want to grow your business, then you can't just do things. You can't just do things and hope that something sticks. You have to actually look at each point, and we call these things like feedback loops. If you're like a marketer, if you do digital marketing like paid ads, then this is obviously something which is looking at your KPIs, looking at your metrics, looking at what's working and what's not working. So when it came to business, what happened last year, I'll kind of give you a little story about what happened. So from 2019 December until, I would say, January, early January, February, I wasn't really doing anything. I actually took a break from just life in general, I guess. I went to the Philippines, and I spent about a month or two. I can't remember how long it was, but it was quite a while. I spent New Year's Eve in Manila, and I partied it up. I met some new friends. I stayed in hostels. I stayed in hotels. I hung out with old friends and got to meet new people. Um, but this is something crazy. I kid you not. When I went back to New Jersey, I kid you not. I woke up one Saturday. And something just told me to like search on YouTube, search wholesaling, like the word wholesaling. So I searched it up, and the first video that came up was this guy named Max Maxwell. So wholesaling is real estate. It's like, it's not really fix and flip. It's not really investing, but it's a type of way to make money in real estate if you don't have money. And I'm not going to be talking about that here, but anyway, so I got back into business, and I actually reached out to someone that I met in the digital marketing and entrepreneurship space, or digital marketing agency space. He was a fellow person that did a mastermind or coaching, group coaching kind of thing that I also invested in. We both got burned. We didn't get any clients from it. That was in 2019. But I reached out to him and I was like, hey man, I got this opportunity. I think this is going to work. And so we actually got together. It was in February, and that's when we created this company called XREV, which was pretty much helping real estate investors get leads and get deals through digital marketing, which was Facebook ads and some appointment setting kind of stuff. So from like, this is crazy, like from February or January, whatever, I can't remember when, from January all the way until July, we made $0. Literally, we made nothing. It was crazy. I wanted to give up, obviously, because COVID was there, and no one's made, like, everyone had the same excuse, like, oh, I can't do marketing because of COVID. No one's buying houses, no one's selling houses because COVID. So it was really tough for us. Um, but each step of the way, we were always looking at the data. We were looking at what were people saying on the calls. We were looking at what were people responding to in our outreach. We're looking at how different ways that we can tweak things. And at first we're like we fucking beginners. We started from scratch with no knowledge about this industry, and we had the basic knowledge that we learned from the group coaching, which we didn't apply any of it actually in the end. I believe it was July. I actually invested $2,500 into this kind of mentorship or partnership, whatever you want to call it. It's something called Closers Club, where they help you with sales. I got on a group, not a group call. I got on a strategy session or discovery call, whatever you want to call it. The guy, he actually looked at our sales process. He looked at everything, and then he helped us out. He gave us some tips, and literally within a week of taking that course, we actually closed 2 sales. That was our first our first clients of the business since starting. So the first one was $1,000 per month, and the second one was $1,500 per month. So that was awesome. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that you have to look at when you're a business, if you're struggling to even get one client, you have to look at all the data and look what it tells you and just tweak it. Let's say that you have a sales process. There's 4 steps to your sales process. There's the initial outreach. There's the I would say qualification, and then there is the sales part, the core sales process, and 4 is, I don't know, fulfillment or whatever. So let's say those are 4 things, and fulfillment also comes into retention because you have to be getting results for your clients. So let's say that there's these 4 things. You have to look at each part and determine what works and what doesn't work and where people are falling off, and then tweak that thing. So yeah, I'm kind of just ranting on about looking at your data. But yeah, that's the number one thing that I learned about in business in 2020. And going into 2021, I'm going to be talking about this later at the end of the video. I'm going to be talking about things that I'm doing in 2021, which is different from 2020. So the second thing I want to talk about is the most important thing I learned in life about friends is that you cannot change your friends. Or rather, you can't change who they are. Meaning you can change your friends, but choose wisely, but you can't change who they are. And the reason why I say this is because I've had a friend for a very long time, and I'll just be transparent. She's actually my ex-girlfriend. We actually became friends, and I tried to make it work out as friends, but we hung out in the beginning of 2020 when I was here. She's actually from the Philippines, but the thing is, when you're friends with someone, you expect people to grow. I expected that person to grow. But the thing is, if people don't want to change, you cannot change them. Like, you can't change who they are. They're gonna have to mold and grow on their own. And no matter what kind of things you try to influence them, it's their decision if they want to make the changes or not. So I'll tell you a little story. I'm actually in the Philippines right now. I got here in August, actually. So when I was running my business, I was actually traveling. I was going through the whole COVID process shit, whatever, and going through traveling. I was literally a nomad. I had nowhere. I had no house. I was just like out there and I was doing sales calls like in hotels and shit. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, so I actually was hanging out with this girl that was my ex and was my friend for just a little, like I would say like a month or two while I was in Manila. Um, but the thing is, every time we'd hang out, I would just be expecting, like, not like us, oh, we're gonna get together, but more of like just expecting that she would change in a way, like her habits, her attitudes. But lo and behold, and it was the end of October, which is just a few months ago. It was the end of October, and we were all hanging out, her and my other friends and her friends, and the same thing that happened um, when the last time we had an argument where we stopped being friends for like over a year, the same thing happened again. The same attitude, the same hostile attitude that she had. It came up, and yeah, like it's kind of like, where the hell did that come from? Because I guess this whole time I was expecting that she changed, or something happened, because she's always talking about meditation and all this shit. But I don't know. So what I learned is that you can't really change people. You have to just let them be, and they'll grow on their own with or without you. So yeah, safe to say I actually don't talk to her anymore. But yeah, if you have friends, just make sure that if you are you don't have expectations. Don't get into a friendship expecting that they're gonna change, or that they're gonna be the person that you want them to be, because they won't. Like, people make their decisions on who they want to be, and their actions reflect that. So just take that and use it. Yeah. So the third thing in the most important thing that I learned in life, is just life in general, is to just do what you want. And what I mean by that is just do things. Obviously, don't just like jump, do bungee jumping without a fucking whatever you call that shit. But I mean more like, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, don't think about the repercussions in a way. Don't think about what other people are gonna think about you. Don't think about um, what other people are going to say or whatever. Obviously, don't just do anything. You have to just be logical and have some common sense. So the reason I say that is because, for a long time I've been contemplating on moving to the Philippines, which I actually have moved here now. And it was a tough decision because a lot of shit happened in 2020. So I just made the decision, like, all right, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to the Philippines, because it's cheaper to live, number one, and most of my friends are here. I got friends every other countries and everything, but I would say that they're a lot more chill here, a lot more cool and to hang out with, and the cost of living here is a lot cheaper, especially if you make U.S. dollars. So that's pretty cool. The reason I say do what you want is because we don't have a lot, a long time to try everything that we want to do. And life shit happens. You never know what could happen next. You could one day I'm just being fucking realistic here. One day you could be, hustling in your business, and the next day you got a kid, and now you got to settle down and get a job, and you feel like you can't do it anymore. I mean, that's fucking life. You know, some shit could happen, and all your savings just go into a family emergency, and they're gone now, and now you can't go travel or whatever it is you want to do. So when you want to do something, I would say just do it. But I obviously calculate things. Like, when I moved here, I didn't just move here with nothing. I kind of did. I mean, literally, I had just a backpack and a suitcase and like some underwear and fucking clothes to wear. But I actually had money in reserve, and I made sure that I'm gonna be able to survive. And if the backup plan was that if shit happened and I lost all my money for some reason, I would just get a fucking job in the Philippines. Like, yeah, I'm making way less money, but at least the business was making money, so that I had that going, and then everything. So I had money saved up. But yeah, in life, just do what you want. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say. Like, even though I did do what I wanted, but I didn't really tell a lot of people. I probably didn't tell most people, especially people in the US. And the last thing that I want to talk about is what I'm doing in 2021. So I'll just give you a little quick summary of what's been going on. So like I said, from January last year until July of last year, our business made $0. Then July, actually, from July to December, we collected, I believe, $23,000 in online sales. That was, I think, seven clients. Some of them were on retainer. The rest kind of just dropped off without continuing the agreement, which we actually legally signed that they have to stay in the agreement, but we just like canceled it anyway. So right now, I'm actually not in doing digital marketing anymore, at least right now, because we lost all our clients. And I'm gonna be maybe I'll talk in a video about like the kind of systems that I had in place and why it was a great system, but it was also bad for at least for the stages that we were at. We weren't at that stage where we actually needed those systems. It was kind of like I was just a fanatic about automation and building these systems, and I just built it. It did work. I actually did close some sales without me actually physically being a part of it. I could talk about that next time, but so yeah, I actually got a job now. I work for an online guru. I probably shouldn't tell you who it is, but he makes a lot of money, and he is like one of the Comma Club award winners. So he's pretty legit. So I work for him right now, and I'm doing wholesaling, which is what I talked about last year. I'm doing that again. So maybe I'll make videos about negotiations, digital marketing, doing sales, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what my passion is really. So I'm gonna get back into that. So I guess I don't really know what I'm gonna make with this channel, but I'm just gonna be talking about whatever the fuck I want. Maybe I want to talk about politics. I don't know. Actually, I don't deal with politics. But just philosophy and all these other. Because I used to make videos before and like about philosophy and life in general. Maybe I'll make videos about that. Maybe I'll just make videos about my life here. Maybe I'll make videos about my like actual sales calls that I'm doing. And if I close deals, I'll actually share it with you guys. But we'll see. So yeah, that's my video, and it's about 18 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this and see you on the next one.